Welcome to One Chemistry. Always try to do your best. Now, let us see about 100 concepts in organic chemistry. We are seeing it as episode. This is the episode number 26. If you didn't watch previous episodes, I encourage you to go and see. Here, we solve 5 problems step by step. Stay tuned. Let us see the first question. The compound is a cyclic system. It has 2 rings fused. It contains heteroatom oxygen and one epoxy ring also there. They are asking what will happen if you use lithium aluminum hydride 1 equivalent and THF at low temperature. They given the 4 choices. 4 choices the ring is open. The first one epoxy ring is open. Second one epoxy ring is open another way. Third one 6-member ring is open and fourth one 6-member ring is open on the other way. Basically the asymmetric ring opening. So from the reactant and possible force structure, the question is really about which ring opens. The answer is A. Let us see how. Here you have epoxy and other oxides there. So basically all are ether. So how the ring is open? Normally oxygen and electron rich never undergo nucleophilic reaction, but epoxide is the exception here. Epoxide due to the ring strain it will undergo ring opening. So ring is open. Again the competition and the asymmetric ring opening where the ring will open 1 or 2. Here epoxide formed from the syn fashion. So you have to have axial position free for H- attack or nucleophilic attack. So 1 or 2 have the position. Only 2 have the axial position free. So H- attack and the axial position you have the desired product which is A. The epoxy ring is open. Here the concepts you have to learn here is epoxy ring open is SN to attack it need axial position. Another thing is epoxide only undergo ring opening. This is a nucleophilic attack. Other ring won't go nucleophilic attack. If you want to open the 6-member ring, you need acidic conditions. Then the next question. You have the dication with 8-member system and you have 7-member system with heterooxygen atom. Here they are asking status of aromaticity, whether A is aromatic, B is aromatic, or non-aromatic or anti-aromatic. So the 4 possibilities are here. So from the 2 structures and aromaticity, you might guess the question is really about Huckel rule and the charge possessed by them and the lone pair of electron involvement. The answer is B. Let us see how. Let us see the first compound. Let us count the pi electron there. A has the 6 pi electron and it has conjugation also because cation provides conjugation. So it's a conjugated system too. So 4n plus 2 conjugation, definitely it is an aromatic system. Then let us look at the B system. B you have 6 pi electron and the oxygen electron definitely involved in the delocalization. Then only you can establish the conjugation here. So it has 8 pi electron. So if you look at it, it's a 4n pi electron, it's an anti-aromatic system. So A is aromatic, B is anti-aromatic. So the answer is clearly B there. Here concepts you have to learn here is Huckel rule. 4n plus 2 pi electron means aromatic, 4n electron means anti-aromatic there. And the concept of conjugation, if you have charged species, it's also established the conjugation inside the system. Then the next question, you have the benzene system attached with many functional group, one side BARC, another side CpZ, another side BNO. Here they are using reducing agent H2, 10% of palladium carbon and ethyl alcohol. They ask you to find the product. The products are what really happened to the protecting group. Basically they are asking which group is removed by the reagent, whether BN removed or CpZ removed or NH removed or all are removed or partially removed. So these are all the 4 choices you have. So from the structure and possible values you might realize the question is really about chemoselectivity of reducing agent which is palladium carbon. The answer is A. Let us see how. Here starting middle you have many functional group. Let us redraw with complete form. So we redraw it. Here you are using palladium carbon. Here palladium carbon has the peculiar property it can only open the CO bond. So let us break the CO bond. You have the acid formation. Other side not attached because it's a NC bond there. Here the carbon attached with many heteroatom which is attached with nitrogen. So CO2 elimination is obvious one. So CO2 is eliminated. You have final product A there. Here the concepts you have to learn here is palladium carbon selectivity. It is very selective, it can only break the CO bond there. Second thing is you have to know how to write the protecting group full form. Here you have to learn BN, CB. Here you have to learn BN which is benzyl group and CBZ and the BOC Bach group. Then the next question. You have the binaphthyl system with the chiral carbon on the side chain. You have two protons. So HA and HB. They are asking the nature of the proton. Whether the proton is enantiotropic or diastereotropic or homotropic or heterotropic. So from the structure and their relationship, you might guess the question is really about chirality versus the proton nature. Basically topicity. The answer is B. Let us see how. Here the compound is already chiral there, but its chirality is a special kind of chirality. The chirality is called spiral chirality. The chirality origin is established from spiral nature. It's like a spring, or you can imagine DNA and RNA type. So it's kind of spiraling. It is unique, it won't match with mirror image. So this chirality is called spiral chirality. You have HA and HP. If you replace HA and HP, you have the new chiral carbon there. The compound is already spirally chiral and you are establishing new chiral position. So it's a diastereomer there. So the answer is clearly B. The protons are diastereotropic. Here the concepts you have to learn here is spiral chirality. Spiral chirality means the chirality created from spiraling of the compounds. Second thing is diastereomer. Diastereomer means you have chiral center. The new proton replacement create a new chiral center. Basically it's a diastereotropic. Then the next question, they given the two structure both are really same, only differ in the CH3 position. In X CH3 on plane, Y CH3 above the plane. So basically they are asking the relation and its position. The facts are X is more stable than Y or Y is more stable than X or methyl or X in anti or methyl or X in Gauch. So basically they are asking the relationship between the methyl group and the stability. The question is which facts are correct there. So they given the variable answer which fact is correct there. So from the structure and the question you might realize the question is about your visualizing ability. You have to imagine in the 3D way. The answer is D. Let us see how. Here they given the two structure X and Y. You have to take always solid line as reference. Here you have solid line CH3 CH3. The solid line always refer the anti-position. You can convert it into the Newman form also. So Newman form if you write CH3 CH3 are anti, second structure H and CH3 are anti, above one below the plane near to CH3. So the X1 you have CH3 in anti and anti form is more stable. In Y1 CH3 are skew form, so it's a very less stable one. So both CH3 and H are anti there. So the answer is X is stable than Y. Methyl groups are in X in anti. Methyl groups are in Y in Gauch form. So the answer is clearly D there. Here the concepts you have to learn here is how to draw Fisher projection to Newman projection. Always take the solid line with anti form. Then you can convert easily into Newman projection. If CH3 groups are in 180 position, it's anti. If it is in the 120 position, they are called skew form. Anti-form is more stable, skew is relatively unstable. That's all from this episode. I hope it was easy. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestion, comment below. Stay tuned for next episode.